of One Guru, One Technique. Today's topic is the obstacles and challenges that we face in our daily life as well as on the spiritual path. So, we have with us the founder of this channel, I can say, uh, Priya Menon. But for me, she's Priya Akka. And she's a international art of living teacher handling various courses for youth and children. And also she has worked extensively for the defense sector of our country in all the tri forces. And she's actually one of the strongest women I have known. And she is like she's the perfect person who can explain the obstacles topic, because I have known her personally and she has known me personally, and she's my soul sister as well. So let's get started, Akka.
Thank you, Abhimita, for giving me such a beautiful introduction. Thank you so much. So as usual, we'll start with the Guru chanting. Right. Jnanamulam Gururmurtihi Pujamulam Gururpadam Mantramulam Gururvakyam Mokshamulam Gurur Kripa Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Shri Gurave Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo. Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev.
Yes, Abhi.
So, Akka, what are challenges and how do they help us grow in life?
Challenges we have outside and inside, to be very frank. So, challenges when we are working, the first, there's a challenge. See, every time when we think of challenges, we get a sort of fear in us because we have a feeling that we will not be able to face the challenges. Now, what are these challenges all about? So when we are working in the corporate, you are not able to meet others' expectation. So when we are not able to meet others' expectation, so that becomes a challenge, isn't it not? They tell you something and you're not able to take it. And, we go through an emotional, or as usual, like yesterday Nikita spoke, she spoke so well. Both of you had such a wonderful session. So the emotional ups and downs we go through. So that leads us to a state of, I would say, we lose confidence in ourselves. So that is a first challenge that I have observed, because when we start interacting with a lot of people, and when they start saying this is possible, that is not possible with you, then we develop a concept in us that this is not possible. I cannot do this. It can be from a small cooking to leading a project. When somebody says, I cannot make this dish, then immediately what happens to your mind is the mind decides that, yes, I can't make it. This is the first challenge. Second challenge, what I've observed is the judgments, people's judgments about us. We should always understand that the judgments are very, very external. So they are looking at your performance. They don't know who you are, isn't it? So they are looking at your performance. They are looking at your external and they are judging you. So today you are leading a project, you are on the top level. People will tell you, wow, Abhimita, she is excellent. So tomorrow, if you can't perform the same people will tell you, she cannot do this. She's not worth a try, right? So but then what happens to us is that when we are going through these judgments, when we are going, it's a process, right? When we are hearing and going through these judgments, once again we develop a sort of I would say a lack of confidence in us, that we think I cannot do this anymore. So judgments and perception of others, I would say these two are the major things in our life. We are living, I would say, we are living our life in others' perception, because we want every time what they say is what we are living. But if you can just look at the mirror and look at yourself and feel that I can do it. It's okay now. Let me just try and let me just do it. What will at the most happen? I'll fall down. People will criticize you. People will say, people will defame us. It's all right. That particular what do you say, attitude develops in us. So this is where I would say the practice of Sudarshana Kriya and the Sahaj meditation and the hollow and empty meditation helps us in a long way. The more we practice it, the more we are dedicated to the sadhana, we'll see the shift happen. We are more aware of our emotions and we are willing to face any challenges. Most of the challenges are because of criticisms. We are scared of criticism, and that's the truth. We are. From the very small age, if you see, parents have criticized us. So that at a very younger age itself, when the parent criticizes you, when they say, this is possible with her, this is not possible with her. So they are already forming a pattern. So especially being a girl and a boy, girls have discrimination. This they can do, this they can't do. For a boy, this they can do, this they can't do. But we are beyond those gender. We are we are a human being. Though we are in a gender body, yet we are not. We are much, much, much more than that. And the ability to do things, go beyond the challenges and achieve is equal for a male and a female. This is what I have noticed. I have gone through it also. I mean, I have faced a lot of challenges in my life to understand what exactly this challenges is. And when we start surpassing the challenges, then we see that dissolves by itself. And then a different level of confidence comes in you, that you will have the courage to say, yes, it's possible. Gurudev keeps mentioning, and I think it's in Ashtavakra Gita. He says, in the dark, a person finds thinks that it is a snake, but when the light comes, it's not a snake. It's only a rope. So this is exactly the challenges is all about. It's still we pass. It is because it is unknown, right? And we are made up of concepts and patterns which we have to accept it. And the more we acknowledge and accept it, it will be easy for us to move. Now, the third challenge is judgments. The third challenge is externally that we face is obligations. Okay. See, today I'm with you, helping you. You are with me, sharing everything with me. So tomorrow what happens is you get a very good project. Okay. I'm a good friend of yours. You get a very good project. But internally I feel, oh, will she exceed me? Will she be, if she does, then where will I stand? But you are not able to take the project because you don't want to hurt me. This is obligation. Many times in service, in spiritual path, and in the corporate world, we get stuck here. We get stuck in this obligation mode because we don't know how to see. We don't want, basically, it is very simple. We don't want to hurt others. So because they have been with us in our toughest period of time. But here is where all the wisdom that Gurudev has given us has put in. Love is our existence. So here you should understand that I love her, but I also give her the freedom to do what she wants. So if you have the entire trust on me that I can do anything, she will not judge me, then that is what the space that we give between friends, between any relationship, I would say, and between colleagues in the office. If we can give that space for each other, and that is where exactly everything grows. Then you see the relationship is a different dimension. It takes us to a different dimension, and then we grow from there. So this is, every time I've seen obligations is one point wherein we don't know how to cross it. We don't want to hurt others. At the same time, this obligation is there even with parents. Isn't it not? Parents want us to do something and we want to do something and we don't know how, we don't want to hurt them. Half of the time if you see, we live our life and say, my mother said this, my father said this, and because my father said this, I chose this. How can that happen? Yes, your parents have said because they love you. So they have all the rights to say. But if you don't like something, you have to take charge of your life and say that I don't like this. I'm not comfortable with this particular program or with this particular person or with this particular thing because of this and this and this. And then definitely a person who loves you will understand. So this is how, with lot of care and understanding, with lot of honor and respect, we have to cross over this obligation so that we don't get stuck. These are very subtle and I would say unnoticed crutches in our life, which brings that roadblock in our life in every aspect, in spirituality too. If you do, in spirituality, we are doing seva together. All of a sudden, one big seva will come for a colleague of mine. And then if I'm going to look at him or her and say, now we have worked together, now he'll step forward than me. No, without me, he'll not go. There it ends, isn't it not? Instead of that, give space and say, come on, I'm behind you. Whether you do it or I do it, it's the same. At the end of the day, what is important is Gurudev's vision and Gurudev's service. And the fourth one is entanglement. This is a huge emotional, what do you say, attachment to any relationship. This happens in a team, in every aspect, in spirituality also, because at the end, everywhere it is people, right? So this is one thing wherein we have to cross it with a lot. We have to be aware of it first, because when you're working with a set of people, we don't know by default, without knowing, emotional entanglement happens. And when we start, we don't know that we are entangled. When we start getting emotionally entangled, then the other rest of the emotions will start overtaking us, in the sense like you will start being possessive of that particular person, or you will start being possessive of that particular event that you are working for. So you don't want to delegate that particular event to anybody who says, I owe this, I'm standing in the front, only whatever I say, others should listen. No, we have got so much of experience with this now, Vimita. That is because, you are like, you have already got entangled in the event. Getting it? Instead of that, you just do it. Gurudev says, do it. Entanglement will definitely come. Don't think it will not come. It will come. Be aware of the entanglement, and that's where teamworks have a lot of power. When you work with everybody and when you include everyone and when you have when you include everybody's say, this entanglement will be very less. And if you are entangled with a particular person, then what happens is you will want to possess him. And when you want to possess a person or an event, that is when we fall down from our own eyes. We do all the unethical things just to possess that person, or just to possess that event, or just to stand up on the stage, to make others realize that I have done it. Now, in this process, what we are going through is, instead of enjoying the process, basically, spirituality is not reaching the goal. Spirituality is, the path itself is beautiful. The path, how you're moved, instead of enjoying the path, what is happening is you are going through an emotional, dramatic stage wherein, you go through your own trauma and you put others also in trouble. And then you don't know what to say. And finally, you think a lot of emotional stuffs happen here. The unethical things happen only because of this particular things, which I have noticed personally. There may be many other things which I have noticed. Honestly, I've noticed this. Instead of that, give space to each other. Give others a room of imperfection. This is my biggest learning. I'm a perfectionist, let me tell you honestly. So in my house too, if something goes wrong, I really go haywire in the beginning. But later on, with these knowledge of Gurudev and with the practice of technique, I realized that, it's if you be perfect, it's okay now when others being perfect. You can always keep your room clean. Somebody comes and dirties, it's okay. Let me clean it once again. So this imperfection, accepting imperfection, what it made to me was my mind has become peace. I'm okay with any situations. I can travel anywhere and I'm okay with any other conditions. So if we are aware of all these like judgments, criticisms, entanglement, and obligations, I think I've covered everything. Is anything else, Abhimita, which you remember?
The criticism part is there.
Criticisms are not. Okay. Criticism is, what do I say? When you get criticized, it is like, especially if you are honest and if you're, what do you say, if you're truly saying something and others says, no, this is absolutely wrong. You are being dishonest or you are being defamed in that particular project or in that particular moment or situation by anyone. It could be, it could be even your close relatives, or it could be even your close friends, or it could be in an organization or spiritually. It is all connected. That is when we have to stand up for ourselves. Remember, they are seeing you with their perception, the way their life has gone through, and there is a, what do I say, there is already a lot of things happening in their life, and through that experience they are saying. So probably our communication to them was not perfect, or probably they have not understood what you are conveying to them. So instead of backfiring, instead of fighting, which I've always done it, I fight back. Initially, I used to fight back criticism. Then I realized no need, no use. Then I realized the change can happen only if they want to change. You can tell the person this is how it is. But I feel only thing that can change in this world is ourselves. I can change. So my perception changed. So when I change, everything around us have changed, isn't it not? So handling criticism is with patience. Understand, hear it, go through it. As rightly Nikita said yesterday, as rightly you also said, go through the criticism, stay strong. And remember, don't get carried away by their criticisms. That is where everything is all about. Most of us get bogged down in criticism. Especially now it is an era of social media. So anybody can post any rubbish in the social media about you. You have to know that you're not all that you've posted. If you are truthful to yourself, the social media also will not touch you. Then the truth of yours will shine. And remember that we are walking with a living master, Gurudev. So when you're stepping forward, when you're facing criticisms, and if you're standing on the right place, remember that he is there to protect us. He is there as a shield to protect us. Even when you're going through the criticism, remember he is listening to the criticisms and he knows the truth and he is there as. And this is the biggest protection that anybody can have in this world. A confidence, an unseen force which is there inside you, guiding you through, moving you through. Just move ahead, because each person's, every episode I keep telling this, every series I keep telling this, each person's journey is different, though we as a team come together. Now when a different service comes, different people come together to do the service. At the end of the day, what is important is realizing ourselves, knowing ourselves, and walking this path with lots and lots and lots of faith. It's an unshakable faith in the divine. Whatever happens, even if you've fallen into the fire, remember Gurudev knows you're burning. He is also burning with us. And this will pull us out of everything in our life. Right? Have I answered? Little bit.
Actually,
You can add
you
on
are
a bit.
right. Yeah, you are actually right. As you kept telling all these points, somewhere I feel that until unless we have faith on that on Guru, or the power, that unseen force that has brought us to this planet and is guiding us uh, all this while. I mean, this family has provided food, given us everything that we need, not everything that we desire, right? Like Gurudev says. So that comes only when you have this strong amount of faith. And I feel challenges are they come in our life just so that we become strong.
Correct.
Yeah, I have seen people, and even I was like that before. I've got a problem. Oh, how am I going to deal with it? I don't want any problems in my life. I want a life full of bed of roses. Everything should be perfect at home. My family, my relationships, my job, everything should be perfect. The moment I started having that kind of idea, right, I've started I started seeing things falling apart. And somewhere Sudarshan Kriya, Gurudev's knowledge, Sahaj, my sadhana, that was the only thing that I had. I didn't have anything else at one point of time in my life. So that's when I realized that this is it. This is the constant thing in my life which is not going to change. Rest, everything is going to fall apart. And through that, it's the criticism that comes. We get judged for our actions in the present moment. We get judged for our actions in the past moment. All of that, like you already mentioned. But somewhere, I always, like, it has made me strong. The knowledge, especially just reading the knowledge, is not enough. We need to know how to apply it in our daily life, imbibe it, because these are pearls of wisdom that he is sharing. And it is not going to be, I mean, he's not going to be here forever, we are not going to be here forever. But just apply the knowledge. The moment we start applying, like, at least, like you are telling this, right? So I had too many challenges in the last couple of years. You know it very well. So the only thing that kept ringing in my mind was, I am pulling the cart. You make sure that you just sit there. Don't
Correct.
fall off. And he always says, Gurudev always says, I can give you the experience of falling, but I'm never I won't ever let you fall. Just a minute, this is timing out.
No, it's okay. 10 minutes are there. Continue. We'll finish off at 3 minutes. I'll disconnect. Tell me.
So that's what has given me the strength. You know, you have always been the secondary support system after my mom. Like, you were always there with me. But somewhere that strength, that faith stayed with me. And also, there's one more thing. We can only, do certain things in life to such, like, give 100% to everything that we are involved in. But then we also should know when to let go. Because you know, suppose I'm asking you for help, right? And also I go other places for help, beg for help. So you will not have the interest to help me. But if I'm totally having that faith and that devotion towards you, you will be bound to help me, because you're in the physical form. So that kind of, uh, you know, uh, demand comes. But when it comes to Guru or any energy that we look up to, always, we have to have patience, faith, and that devotion that yes, whatever I'm asking will be given.
Yes.
So when
Remember always one thing, Abhimita, what is meant for you will be yours. Because
yeah,
we have come in this body with a script. It's
yeah,
already there. And see, the layout is already done. It is how you lead your life that makes it, whether it is going to be a miserable life or it's going to be the most beautiful, joyful life. So whichever people have to walk into your life, will walk into you. Did I ever know you when you were born? So how did we both meet? That's it. So whoever has to stay will stay. Whoever has to leave will leave. And the situations are also like that. That's why Gurudev, all the 5 knowledge point is so crucial. Situations are also like that. Situations will come. It is how you face it that makes that particular situation beautiful, joyful, or you're going to land up in crying and mystery, or you're going to take up challenges and move through it and transform yourself. The more you take up challenges and move through it, what we see is a transformed, beautiful Abhimita, which I'm seeing right now. Isn't it not? See, so
yeah,
many shows you're anchoring, and I'm really surprised because the first time you were so scared even to speak. So today, this is what is transformation all about: standing as a role model for so many people here. And sharing that knowledge is not easy, Abhimita. Not everybody can do that. Everybody can experience. Everybody can say, "Yeah, my faith is strong," etc. But sharing the knowledge is very deep. You need not touch 1,000 people, but are you touching one person in your life? That's it. Done. That is what you're doing now. And I'm so happy to see you.
also
Happy and joyful.
I mentioned, right, when you were telling the challenges, like the difficulties, external challenges that come, right? So all these things, somewhere I feel the whoever is facing it should have also the ability of letting go things. So if
Correct.
we are possessive in a relationship, somewhere we need to identify that if things are wrong outside, I realized that something is wrong inward, and that's why things are wrong outside. This is something that I realized after great difficulty.
Very true.
So there is something that is wrong inside, and when I look within, and Gurudev says we pray in 2 situations: either we are very grateful or we are very helpless. And I was in the latter situation for quite some time. So when I prayed out of helplessness, please guide me, I did receive answers. I did receive the guidance. What I should do, where is within me, where do I fix myself so the external situation gets fixed. So instead of, like Nikita already mentioned yesterday, finding that balance within, uh, understanding yourself within, which is what, helps us to grow. It is not going outside and telling people, blaming them, ki you didn't do this, you didn't do that. No, that's not how it works. Somewhere something you didn't do right, and that is why outside is behaving like this with you. Learn like every challenge, every problem, whatever we face. Not problem, because Gurudev says problem is a word that
Challenge.
scares us. Challenges is the right word.
It's
So
exciting.
challenge is always, whether it is the output may be failure or success, doesn't matter. But did it help you to grow? What exactly did you learn? Is the question that I ask myself all the time. And which is what, in the last couple of years when you first met me, and today, this, like you're already telling me that there is a huge transformation. That questioning, self-questioning on a constant basis has helped me grow. So that's what is my complete idea about challenges.
Letting go is a very important thing because it's not easy, Abhimita, to let go. You can't, it's very easily said than done. Because see, when you are what do you say, when you are doing some work, the doership is there with us. You can't blame anybody because the doership is inbuilt in us. We don't know how to undo things. The challenge with us is undoing. So that doership, so to work on the doership is seva, sadhana, satsang, and Gurudev's wisdom. We have to keep hearing it again and again and again and sharing it with friends. The more we talk it out, when the last 2 years, we were sharing all these, I would keep telling all these 11 series are all our sharings. We were just a handful of people together during the Corona period who were discussing day in and day out, fighting it out, doing so many things together. So the outcome of this is the 11 series of all these knowledge sessions. So ultimately letting go is, this is where, Gurudev keeps saying being with people, satsang. See, when I go, I keep telling you, let go, let go, let go. Then at one point it strikes. But if you're all alone, let go doesn't happen because you're already emotionally entrapped in that, isn't it?
Vika, what are internal challenges that we face?
All that we are facing is internal challenges only. There is nothing external because we are not the what do you say, this main switch is inside us. We are not able to fix that. All the commotions that we are going through is because of the internal challenges. Now let's take it a little one by one. What are the internal challenges? First is the different what do you say, different emotions that we go through. You should understand that here, to understand the emotions that we are going through in our life, you have to understand that love is your existence. Love is not an emotion. It is your foundation. Getting it? And love is the highest, or I would say the most evolved emotion in this in a human birth. But with love, you can elevate a person to the highest. With the same love, you can bring down a person to nothing. That's why it is called love is your existence. When we are, and all the things, all the other internal things that, possessiveness, hatred, jealousy, what else, lust, greed, everything that we go through, attachment, all is the modulations of this particular love. It is yes, rightly said, ego. Most important thing. We don't want to lose somebody. There comes everything. That's what I said. Unethical. We do a lot of unethical things in our life just to maintain relationships. Why? Be absolutely transparent and honest in your relationship. Believe me, today they'll not understand you. Tomorrow they'll not understand you. Probably for the next 5 years, they will not understand you. But later they'll say, I can tell her or him anything because she or he is honest. Or she or he doesn't follow. The honesty that you carry will shine in your vibration. The authenticity that you carry will shine in your personality. You will not need others, what do you say, others' acknowledgement, others' appreciation. As we transform ourselves and know that love is our existence. Now, this will once again take its time. Once again, this is a process because we have been experiencing love as an emotion only. From the small, it is, people artificially do so many things and we think that is love. Actually, I'll tell you a very interesting thing. Love can never, if it's true unconditional love, this love can never bind a person. If you see Gurudev loves all of us so much. I've never seen Gurudev binding us in any of his Because of his unconditional love for us, we are able to do so many. We are evolving in his love, isn't it not? We have so much of freedom to talk to Gurudev, anything. We know whatever rubbish we do also, Gurudev knows. We can tell Gurudev.
Because that's because if we don't listen to him, we are going to get all kinds of beatings from all the corner. Our path will become more difficult. That's what I feel.
No, I have to disagree here, Abhimita, because the freedom that Gurudev gives us is the freedom of evolution. He doesn't, his love is so much that he doesn't want you to fall. Where we are going through the entire process thinking that love is an emotion. So he is from here telling you, detach, my dear, I'm here. Love is unconditional. Now we are saying attach. I've got attached. No, nothing can be done. So now what a guru can do here? Getting it.
It's love has become more of a transaction now.
That
it's more of a give and take. If you are doing this for me, I will do this for you. Otherwise, get lost. That's what it has become now.
When you understand Gurudev's love for us, and if we can live, well, you need not live for everyone. It's a learning. If I can live the same unconditional love for just one person or in one situation, then slowly we'll start living that knowledge with everyone. So
Also, love gets destroyed by demand, right? Gurudev always says this. So having that awareness helps us to grow as a person.
Any relationship, it could be even spiritual evolution, spiritual relationship is sharing knowledge with each other. We're all together in art of living. Practicing being with in knowledge with Gurudev, isn't it not? Here also we have to give space to each other. Respect, there is a beautiful correlation between respect and love. When you love someone, you will automatically respect him. It's all right whether they do whatever they want, it's okay. You will never be able to defame them. This is a part of love.
There's one more thing. If sometimes the opposite person starts misusing your, love and respect for them,
right?
So at that point, it does not make any sense of,
that is where stepping out works.
Yeah.
That's
when we need to learn to let go. Okay, fine.
It is painful. I wouldn't say it is not painful. When you step out of something, it is very painful. But to make them realize, if you're truly willing, if you truly want their goodness, you should know when to step in and you should know when to step out and you should know when to witness and just be. Just be whatever they are. And always give. Gurudev says in any relationship, be there as a giver. Share. It's all right. And don't expect anything. Once again, expectation comes. That's natural, even between friends, we expect something. That's okay. That's all right. But be a giver, understand, always understand the person beyond their body, beyond their action, beyond what they are. And always understand an event or a project beyond what it is. In the sense like, there may be a lot of commotion at this moment, but the end goal is very nice. If the end goal is going to do goodness to the entire community, go through the commotion, it's okay. Once again, this particular commotion that we are going through will break our ego. Because, every time it is our ego which is getting crushed. We don't want to face a person because of ego. Because, so many incidents would have happened with a particular event or a person, that we step back and say, no, I don't want to. So you are avoiding something is because of ego. Because once again, it is our ego. So ultimately, whether you want to stay with the ego or whether you want to move ahead of the ego is your choice. It's this journey. See, many of the people ask me, Priya ma'am, if we are going to give our string to Gurudev, then do we really live life? We have to. No, Gurudev has never said, give the string to me. He said, I will empower you. You will live your life as you want. But take responsibility for your ups and downs in life, because it's life. You're not here to complain. You're not here to blame others. You're here to, whatever is happening in our life is only and only because of us. We don't have certain things. We are not able to face, we are not able to cross or break certain things. That is when we go through a lot of turmoil in our life. And here again, I would like to mention you, Art of Living, Sudarshana Kriya, Hollow and Empty Meditation. All the courses are designed in such a way that we get empowered from within and we take charge of our life. And in this lifetime, walking with a master, a living master who loves us so much, we can break every concept. And let's come together to do something to bring peace to the entire universe, because that's the need of the hour. Now, each of us, see, you have got transformed, I have got transformed, so many people getting transformed. Let's handhold each other and let's transform each other. And let's form, even if it is a small formation, let's form it strong so that the rest of the people gets a shelter in our peace. Isn't it not worth a life?
So beautiful vision you are having, Akka. Why our path is so beautiful, but why do people, leave the spiritual path? What could be the reason?
A very self question they have to ask themselves frankly. Why do they leave the path? It's not just this path. I think any organization, I think it's more of, I don't know, this is once again my perception. You are getting, actually we are getting stuck to the framework of anything. If we can, let go of the framework and be with ourselves, be with our guru or our path completely, I think we can sail through. The more we start, I mean, we have to interact. There's no choice, because that's how Gurudev has made us. But in those interactions, there'll be a lot of things that might hurt us. We should be able to move through. People who leave the path, I find those people are people who have been with many paths. We say spiritual shopping, right? So if you are into too many spiritual shoppings, then they will not stick to any path. That's number one, which I have observed. It can be right and wrong. Second is when your ego gets hurt, when the defaming happens in such a way and you are in a very higher level, higher level in the sense like higher designated post of whichever position you're in, and at that level, if defaming happens, probably they're not able to take it. It can be one of the reason, I think. And I would say you should face it, but it depends on, once again, each individual. And some feel this is a very simple path. Many of them has told me, the mind needs complicated stuffs, Abhimita. The mind needs something, you stand upside down and stand up and look, the mind enjoys. So there are people who wanted complicated stuffs. So they find, oh, this is just sitting and breathing. What big thing. So such people also need the because I've had so many people who say, this is nothing, you're sitting and breathing. I don't find any difference. You have to go deeper. There are certain, you have to have the reverence for certain things before going to doing this. So there are such people who leave the path. That's what I have observed. They find, Art of Living's breathing is very simple. They wanted very tough things to do. Once again, understand that this is the complicated mind that plays. I have observed something is the most simplest people, the most simple technique, and the most simple way of life is the most profound and most deepest. Gurudev, if you observe, he's the most simplest person anywhere, everywhere. He's the same. People find him in different ways. That's their perception. He's the same. His techniques are absolutely simple. So it is to make our complicated mind simple. But if you don't want to, if you want complicated stuff, then what do I say? So such people also leave the path. And probably some people want something from the guru and they have got it and they leave the path. It's also possible. So these are all possibilities. But I would say that stay on to the path, because this path is the most divine path. And with the walking, talking Gurudev like us, who showers us with a lot of love and grace, and who gives us the opportunity to grow in any dimension you want. And Art of Living is a place wherein you can grow like anything. You want to take up anything, you can take up. But take up, that is external. Your doing is external, your service is external. Internally, connect yourself to the highest and be there for each other to uplift each other. Be there as a role model. Transform yourself so that others looks up to you and say, oh my God, I have to do Art of Living. There's no choice. I have to do Art of Living. Look at them. So this should be the vision that all of us should have. Abhimita?
Thank you so much, Akka, for concluding this in a beautiful way. You have, I think, the duration amount of time that I have known you, you have kind of put forward every experience that you went through in a very beautiful, profound way, in a way that every person listening to this shall understand. I think there's nothing much to add on this topic further. It was beautifully said, Akka. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abhimita, once again for sharing the show with me. It's wonderful. And, you know, I can see a lot of transformation in you too. You know, you're being a role model to many now. Okay. So it is such a wonderful thing. Thank you so much. And we'll meet up soon. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. And Jai Guru.